This episode, we're going to be talking about hobby and some of the sweet stuff coming out for 40K.
Welcome to Trident Wargaming, a podcast dedicated to all aspects of tabletop wargaming. Your hosts are Bill and Andy.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Trident Wargaming. My name is Bill, and I'm joined with
Andy.
And this is episode 8, and we're going to be jumping right into the hobby aspect of the episode. Basically, the last 2 months has been fairly busy. There's been a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, there has. We've had actually a few challenges, painting challenges that's been happening, and it's great because it kind of all started with just a personal challenge, right? And I know myself, I mentioned it to Bill, and it was just let's get a certain amount of stuff painted in a month. I had some goals, and then we decided to expand and do it with some communities here in town. And for the first month, I know I did bolt action.
Yeah.
And Bill joined in that as well, which was great. The community really, really took to it. So it was awesome. You know, it didn't matter what you had. You had a couple units or an army or, a tank or whatever, and you just got it painted. And it's awesome.
Oh.
It's been carrying over, and we've been doing some good stuff. A lot of people have been really getting the vibe for it, catching the hype, so to speak. So I know, Bill, you did Necromunda.
Yeah, I was battling it out in the Underhive with my Orlok gang. And, for people who are listening in, if you haven't checked out our Instagram or our Facebook page, go check out those social media platforms. You'll see all the pictures of our pledges and then progress pics as we go, and then final end pictures. The challenges have been really, really useful for honestly just beating that backlog pile into submission. I don't think I've painted more in the last 2.5 months than I have in the last 6. It's been just nonstop painting. But the trick is with every new month is a new system. So you don't get that burnout. You don't hit that wall. It's always new and fun and refreshing because it totally changes up your palette, changes up the models. It's actually a really, really clever way to kind of keep going on it. So
yeah, like I've said, there's been a lot of people here in the communities and the different gaming that have really taken to it. I know I did Star Wars Legion as well, and that was actually a fairly new community for me to jump into, and it was great because with these challenges, we've taken it upon ourselves to help grow some of these communities as well by doing little giveaways.
Yeah.
So it really enticed people to, pick up their brush, build their models, paint them up, and pretty much showcase them to us on those pages and whatnot. So it was really great. I was able to just have a lot of good chats with people and a lot of good interactions, especially with progression pictures. Obviously we can't really just meet up and, high five each other and stuff, but the progression pictures on the platforms on Facebook and whatnot, and even on our Instagram, people have been hashtagging us with their pictures as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
So, the groups have been fantastic. They're participating. Some of these pages that have been kind of just in a lull have been revived a little bit, and people are just excited to get stuff painted. Checking out new units, checking out a new army, three characters they're doing up, and they're painting them up, and it's awesome. Like, and on top of that, a lot of these community admins or leaders have really taken it to the next level as well, where some of them have kind of almost implemented that into other groups as well. Like, I've talked to a few of the painters and stuff here in the city that, you know, they've are saying that's a really good idea, and I'm going to incorporate that into, you know, into my actual time as well, right? So it's great. I see it on the pages, how people are just kind of crawling out of that little corner and actually getting back involved into the painting aspect of the game. And there's a lot more chatter, you know, which is awesome. Hoping to, well, because we're going to be doing this for like pretty much every month.
Yeah,
right?
This will be like throughout the year. We're going to keep banging it out and really trying to hammer out all these different systems and backlogs that we have. And it's not so much like this is like all done in a positive light, right? Like we're doing this because we want to actually get through these systems and actually get our stuff painted. So once Nurgle lets his grasp, you know, loosen a bit on our lives, we can jump into these systems with fully painted
That's
forces.
true. Maybe
like,
maybe Changers Away will come in and snap his fingers and, you know, make things better for us. But
it's gonna be a lot of fun. Like myself, I've never actually played the new Necromunda, never ever. I watched and dabbled a very little in the old school Necromunda, like in the 90s, and you know, once I'm actually able to jump in, there's a local group in the city here. I'll be able to jump into a system I've never played before with a brand new, like, fully painted gang.
Yeah.
With, like, you know, jubes and hanger-ons, and I've got my Robo-Dobo and, like, all this stuff, right? Like, it's actually really cool to do it. Like, never playing before, and you're just playing because you got the models. They look cool. They're painted. I have no idea what loadout's good or not, but, you know, I just built my models, and I'm just jumping in. I think that's half the fun of kind of just jumping into a new system, is it's all that exploring and like really going through everything for the first time. So
especially a game like that, like Necromunda.
Oh yeah,
you know. So like I know I picked up Goliath Gang as well. So it'll be fun to put those guys together and do them up, you know, maybe in a couple months' time.
Oh, for sure.
So that'll be fun as well. But yeah, and there's so much. Like, I know I have tons of models, and you know, I just have to look at them and like, okay, you know what? I think that's the one. That's the one for next month. You know, that's the system I want to work on next month. Just like right now, we are both doing Adeptus Titanicus.
Yeah.
Which has been a blast so far. You know, again, we gotten into the game, got the models. I know Bill had painted up some of his Titans, Legio Krytos, right? Yeah. And they look awesome. You know, you can check them out on the Instagram page and whatnot. But we didn't really, like, we looked over the rules and stuff, but we never really got a chance to actually play it. And I know
that's true.
I know the community here, there was a bit of a gathering, and you know, I don't know, I think there was maybe about 8 players or something playing it, and it looked really cool, looked awesome, and it really kind of pushed me to be like, yeah, I'm gonna start getting that stuff and getting it ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now that we're kind of tackling, like, okay, let's get our stuff painted, it's going to be, again, really fun when you go to play it and just you get to see it on the board, you know. So like I went with Legio Solaria, and it's a different way of painting, especially like the technique. I literally am using the sponge to paint majority of the model, so it's airbrush and sponge, but it's a great technique. It's a great different way of painting it. It makes it exciting, I was kind of hesitant of going with that Legio. But now that I have, and I'm already, into it a little deeper than the normal, I'm glad I did. It's different, a new technique, learning something new, trying something different. That's a lot of times that's what the hobby's about as well, right?
Definitely is. It's breaking out of that comfort zone again, like we talked about in that last hobby burnout, like the backlog burnout episode. Painting for yourself and exploring new techniques, new styles is always what it's about. um Touching back on some of the other guys who were doing posts, so that last episode with the hobby that we were talking about, we were telling the listeners, like, tag your pictures with the hashtag Trident Wargaming, because we actually wanted to see if people were, going to participate. And believe it or not, there's some really, really awesome artists out there on Instagram that were dropping these hashtags on their pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And what's nice, is we got Fifth Godsmote, who's on there. He was doing up some Lord of the Rings action, and his, like, it's the ghosts from the mountain that look actually pretty legit, I have to admit. Like, very cool. And then, just I was surprised at how many there actually were. There was a bunch, like Scorpus Flex. He's busting out that sweet battle tech.
Mm-hmm. That's an
Right?
exciting one.
So, yeah, we saw those mechs. We saw them. So definitely we like seeing all that. And currently we're bouncing on Mech Warrior Online, so it's like right up our alley. And then
Exactly.
Thunderhammer Studios, a few different pieces from him. Uh, he's doing wolves, and then he has looks like it's a full like Chaos Space Marine list, which it looks again awesome. It's awesome to see you guys dropping these hashtags so we can check it out and go through them and actually see, because when we actually search up that hashtag, we're like, hey, that's not ours, and you go click on it, you're like, oh wow, that's someone else's. And I do recommend checking it out, because you're gonna see a lot of different artists. Like, again, Thunderhammer Studios, he's got Bloodthirsters and some more of the, looks like, Iron Warriors from that Chaos Army. There's just, there's a ton of different stuff on here, and we wanted to come on and make sure that you guys know that we are looking, and we wanted to shout you out.
Yeah, for sure. I love the way his Bloodthirster is.
Oh,
by the way. That's wicked.
No, it looks great. It really does. So, but that's really what it's all about, right? Is sharing these hobby experiences, sharing the models, sharing pictures, and really kind of just, touching base on that stuff. So it's nice to see. So definitely, if you're tuning in for the first time, don't forget to, hashtag Trident Wargaming on your pictures so we can take a peek and shout you out on the podcast like we just did. And definitely keep it going. But yeah, it's been, like we said at the beginning, it's been busy, and there's been a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, and they'll continue to go that way for us.
Yeah,
we have a lot more in store for the hobby.
yes.
Be it from new armies to painting techniques to even working on some terrain for future upcoming little events that we're planning for. I mean, whenever that is. I know I have plans to do a Battle of Stalingrad for bolt action at some point. I've got a lot of terrain for it, so take some pretty nifty pictures for that. Once we get there, and that's the thing too. Like, when all said and done, we tend to do those project end or challenge end photos when we can, right? So you'll be seeing a lot of that stuff. People really enjoy that. I know I did it in the Star Wars Legion page, and kind of blew guys away, right? They're just like, oh my goodness, it's like right out of the movie, so
yeah, it did look awesome,
and it was fun. It was really fun to do, and that's the whole thing, especially right now, right? Like, you want your hobby to be fun. You don't want it to be a chore, you know? So,
Ain't that the truth? Yeah,
100%.
it
100%.
is. Yeah,
Nothing,
I know. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying nothing beats, after painting 50 to 100 white marines, with red trimming, compared to like actually going and painting this multicolored grand demon for chaos, in all these different aspect of colors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, or a different type of model, right? It's not just a space marine that you're painting, but now you're actually painting, a medieval knight or, some teddy bear with machine guns or something, whatever you're into.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but,
I know myself. I was actually pretty surprised because I was sharing on a few of the Necromunda pages, especially on the House Orlock gang players. Because,
mhm.
trying to talk strategy, I was obviously being a noob for Necromunda. I never really played. So I'm kind of just telling them, hey, here's my pictures, guys, my finished army or my gang. And, this is kind of my thought process. And I'm not sure if it's going to go well. And a lot of people, received the pictures quite well. And the next morning I wake up and I'm looking on the page and I was like, wow, it's Brett's updated the cover photo and it's a picture of my gang. And I was like, whoa. So it's kind of interesting to always see your stuff kind of get some good praise and a lot of people commenting on the Doberman, the
I
Robo
was I
Dogo,
was
as we
just
call
gonna
it.
say if you haven't seen Bill's Robo Doggo, go check it out because I'll let Bill explain it. But what did you do for that, Bill? Like, what did you actually do to get that look to the
Uh,
dog?
Believe it or not, I ended up actually just Googling pictures of Dobermans and tried to emulate that color, the bronzing on their like cheeks and above their eyebrows, done on the chest and like sides of the shoulders, the best I could with like kind of like a sponge to kind of start blocking it in, and then obviously color it in with the brush. But just tried to make it look as natural as possible, like an
Mm-hmm.
actual Doberman, and I think it was pretty successful. Um, if again, yeah, check out the pictures. Let me know what you think. But yeah, it's getting inspiration from real world things is, I think, a really cool part of the hobby, especially for Necromunda. You know, gangers, Mad Max movies,
Mm-hmm.
they go hand in hand.
Road Warriors, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, and then you know, clicking on just pictures of like Chernobyl and the rundown like underground tunnels and stuff, and just really trying to find that cool, rusty, rugged look. I'm currently actually rocking out on the side. I'm trying to get my Zone Mortalis board up to snuff. Everything's primed up right now for it and based, but trying to really get it kind of in a spot where potentially next month I can pledge it and try and get everything done, like from pretty much base coat painting all the way to complete. So
Nice.
we'll see. It's just, yeah, I really kind of was gravitating to the Necromunda and the Zone board. Just they go hand in hand, right? So it's been a thing, but I'm still cranking out on my Legio Krytos. Um, should be some really nice pictures coming up in the next day or two, and yeah, it should be really good. I'm looking forward to seeing what the community guys are gonna do too, because we have, I think, five guys jumping in on the challenge with us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes the challenge worth it, right? Like we do it by ourselves, but having actual, community involvement and seeing the different legios come to life is it's really that's the satisfaction in it is,
That's
we're all taking that journey together.
Yep, yep, and that's also how you help these communities too, right? Um, when there's a lot of stuff happening on the page, when you see that the pages are active, right?
Yeah.
It's so important to be engaged with these communities as well, especially when you're trying to do these little challenges or little events or whatever you want to call them, right? For us, it's the challenges.
Yep.
You really want to show face. Like when I had the winner of the Star Wars Legion challenge, he came by and picked up the actual box set I gave away, which was Arc Troopers. It was the new unit that came out. The guy, he was super excited. Super excited. He thought it was awesome. He said, it helped me start painting again. He was kind of in a lull. But once he's seen that a lot of people are doing it, it got him going. And that's kind of one of the best things ever, right? You're able to connect with people that have the same mentality for the hobby, have the same love for it, and that's the best feeling ever, So it's awesome. Props to everybody who's been involved and enjoying it and showing us your stuff. I know we love it, so
yeah,
we know you guys are enjoying it, which is a double bonus. And it's going to just continue to go this way for sure. And I think it's just going to get better and better.
I think so.
So right now is definitely the time to paint. So, paint or customize or construct cool terrain settings, stuff like that. I know bolt action guys are infamous for that. I've seen a lot of pictures on the page that I'm on of custom terrain and custom battlefields that they're making, just stuff like that. And it's wicked awesome. Gives you ideas as well. Star Wars Legion, one of our friends, Dusty, there, he ended up posting on a post that I was asking what terrain are people working on, and he's showing me an Ewok village, and I'm just thinking, dude, you're thinking the exact same way I'm thinking. Like, that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? So it's great. So that's, I guess, the bottom line. It's just super awesome.
Yeah. She reminded me too. The winner for the Necromunda challenge ended up getting a box of Ambots, the Luther pattern Ambots. And I was pretty pumped to actually see what he's going to do with them. Actually, it's one of our friends, Lukash, who's very, very talented painter and converter. He's AKA the master of green stuff, and we will be having him for a chat eventually here on the podcast. But if you go on his Instagram at Laughing Carp, basically you'll see what he's been dabbling in lately, and it's been a lot of Death Guard, and he's taken up to that next level, rocking out that AK Interactive Streaking Grime, and it's been pretty awesome just to watch him work that voodoo magic, because it's just, it's blowing me away with some of the painting results that he's getting. So it's just, it's pretty legit. But again, this is what it's all about. This is what the hobby's about, is sharing each other's experiences and the showcasing, right? So
yeah, it's funny you mentioned, Lukash, with the AK. When I was at the store the other day, Dave there was the store owner. He was describing it to one of the customers that's never been in the shop, and he was intrigued by it, and he was like, our associate Lukash he does excellent work with this stuff, and he just makes it look completely rusted, right? So here's me, I just whip up my phone, pull out his Instagram, and show him the exact thing Dave was talking about. So it's like, you're sharing all this information, you're sharing the pictures, you're sharing what can be done, and that's pretty good when we can do that as a community, as hobbyists. It's really good. So wish we had this like 20 years ago, would have made things
awesome.
Would have made things so much, I guess, clearer in the end. You know what I mean?
Well, and easier too, right? Actually getting a lot of information, it would be pretty legit.
But yeah, going forward, not sure as of yet. I know Bill did mention his own Metalis board, but I think we may have some of the other bigger systems in play in the future. For the painting challenges, that is like the 30K, the 40K.
Yeah. I know we've talked about Blood Bowl as well,
Mm-hmm.
jumping into that, and there's been already the start of some BattleTech talk floating around, and obviously with the magic of resin printers now, seeing some of these mechs, the pictures of them are just mind blowing. So I don't know, I might have to dabble into that. I know I told myself, no, I'm not doing it. I'm out.
Well, you're going to do it because
getting pulled in slowly. I can tell. So
remember, I ordered a Kickstarter for it, so you're getting that Jade Falcon pin and Jade Falcon patch. So
that's at least if I'm gonna jump in, I'm gonna play the best clan, right?
Yeah.
Whoa. And if you're Clan Wolf and you're frowning at that, hey, you know what? Come get some. So,
good stuff.
That's awesome.
Good stuff.
That's awesome. But sliding from the hobby aspect, jumping into some 40K talk. There has been a ton of stuff happening with 40K.
Mm-hmm.
But before we jump into all the newest crazy stuff jumping out, when Ninth dropped, we had plans actually shortly after it dropped and the Crusade rules were revealed. We actually were planning to do a Crusade style league.
Yeah.
There was about 8 of us who were involved, and we, believe it or not, we called it the COVID Crusade. And we had a page going to, really roll it into this narrative feel, having it as Imperials versus Chaos. So we had, equal players in each, 4 and 4, and we were going to be going through and playing it and really trying to play to the legions and have a lot of fun with it. Unfortunately, again, Nurgle was not happy-go-lucky and decided to kind of squash that for now. But I know there are plans eventually that, yeah, we will go back and look at it, because I think if you've been in a state of, lockdown for the last year, you're probably like us, very rusty.
Yes.
I looked at that, the latest FAQ, and I was like, I don't even remember what I'm looking at here. So I'll print it out, put it in the pile with the other stuff. But it's, yeah, I know I've probably got a solid week of reading before I jump back in and actually like pretend to know what I'm doing.
That's kind of the thing with 40K right now, right? Is like we've been slightly out of touch with it. Like we obviously still look into it. Like I know you were looking at the Death Guard stuff when that came out, but
yeah.
But yeah, like when we do decide to get into it again, and if when the Crusade happens, there's definitely a lot of stuff to pretty much research and figure out what's what, because there's a lot of content to go over. Like
it's never ending.
Yeah,
it's
like
never ending.
Like I know, like when it came out, I was super excited with the Necrons. I hummed and hawed about them at the end of the edition there, and once the models came out, it was just an instant like flick of the switch. Like I'm doing it, right?
Yeah.
Started playing them, started getting used to them, figuring out some of the units I liked, some of them I didn't like, and even just playing the game, right? Getting used to the game again, because like we're so heavy into 30K.
Oh yeah.
Right, that making that switch, it was exciting because like really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a matter of getting through the mechanics and learning stuff. And then we have a lot of guys in our community that are just like pro at it, Yeah. But yeah, like the new stuff for 40K.
Well, I guess let's start with like the demon in the room, Bellicor.
You're getting them.
well, yeah, I'm gonna buy them no matter what. Like, so they did a release of the model, a little sneak peek there late last week,
Mm-hmm.
and let's just talk about how that how that model actually looks. It's amazing. I personally think it puts all the other like greater demon models to shame. And I
It's
know it's a
a
bold
next
statement,
level.
but it's like, man,
Like, don't get me wrong, the greater demons,
yeah.
they look great. They look
Well, they
awesome,
do.
right? You know, like I have Fate Weaver. He was probably my favorite model to paint, right? But yeah, Bellicor comes out, and it's like hands down, you're the dude, you're the god, you're the prince. Like there's you can't touch it right now, and
No.
this even goes back to the hobby thing too. But like GW has upped and improved their game so much
Yeah.
since they started with coming out with Age of Sigmar. And I know you and me talked about this before, and I almost went onto a huge tangent about it, but they've improved their game so much with their models that in my head, they're like literally untouchable.
Yeah.
Right? But going back to Bellicor, wow. Like, I'm a demon player. You
Yeah.
know, I know Bill has some demons,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a lot of potential with that model, be it for, playing him in 40k or even using him in Demons of the Runestorm for 30k,
Yep.
right? Like when I seen his model, I had this idea of what if I painted up a demon army like in his colors like that,
Yeah.
right? That grayish tone, but compare like they really captured what he looked like his old model
Yeah.
and literally just like hit us with this semi truck, just bam, here's this super awesome large great looking demon prince that puts everything else to shame, everything
No
else.
doubt.
you know
One of the nice things too that I saw, and honestly, like it's a really nice touch by Games Workshop, is the alternate base and wing detail. So
mm-hmm.
on the 40k version, you've got a Primaris helmet hanging there, and then you've got that dead Primaris lieutenant. Looks great, but then you have the alternate where you've got the actual like the dead Chaos Warrior on him, and it's got like a whole different kind of base detail where you can really rock it out for either system. And I thought that was such a clever idea because, here's hoping that Codex Demons come out and the new
Mm-hmm.
range will obviously be for both systems. So if they're going to start actually doing, custom little um, system tidbits like that, I just, yeah, I just think it's going to be such a refreshing hit of a model that it's just, yeah. If this is the stance going forward, especially with these big characters, like I'm super pumped. Um, Now model, just the model aside, so they did actually drop some of his rules today, and I have to admit, they were looking pretty good. Um, his Blade of Shadows, Sweeping Strike is pretty legit, right? He's obviously, just an attack monster, but that Piercing Strike, this is the one where I was like, oh wow, like you can actually walk up and like pretty much kill anything
It's
that you want.
pretty powerful.
Well, that's so there's some things here. So, strength +4, -4 AP, damage D3 +3. So it's always minimum 4, which
Yeah.
is nice because most characters are 4 and up. But the one thing that really makes this weapon so good is invulnerable saving throws can't be made against this attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're gonna start seeing some of these bigger characters going that route. and I think you'll see more characters following suit with like the rules that Thraka has. Like you can't take more than, you know, this many 3 wounds per phase kind of thing to kind of balance that out. But I like where it's going because ignoring invulnerable saves really makes these characters super fierce to deal with, right? And obviously you don't want to do it in combat. So you'll try and really do it at range, but with the new, terrain rules and the new board sizes, like combat is definitely its own beast now. Considering turn 2, you can really be in grips with guys. It's just, yeah, some of the rules for this model are just they're amazing.
Well, he's going to be
Um,
moving fast too, right?
oh, definitely,
So
definitely. Again, shadow form. So each time an attack is made against this model, your opponent cannot reroll the hit roll. Each time an attack is made against this unit, subtract 1 from the attack's hit roll. So you're basically totally like canceling out, the Marine player who's going to bubble wrap against his Chapter Master, which is awesome, right? Like, it's just, yeah, I was blown away. And then Immortal Vigor model has a 4+ invulnerable save. Pretty standard, considering I think 4+ is the new 3+.
yeah.
It's basically 4+ is as good as it seems to get right now in 9th, which I like. It's at least a 50-50. But also again, each time a range attack is made against this model, subtract 1 from the attack's wound roll. So he's going to be super hard to take out from range, which just makes me want to play this model even more.
Well, it seems like you're forced to go at him with a bigger character of his, stature, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and you're going to pay for it too.
yeah, and I think maybe that's the whole goal, is to get these epic clashes going, because each faction, each race has a large character.
Yeah,
Thraka, Guilliman, Matarian, just they're huge.
Yeah,
but it's good. It makes them, like, these rules make them great for combat and whatnot, and they got a lot of these rules that help them survive, so they can't really get picked off, so it's
definitely
it's gonna be deadly.
It's pretty sweet. And like that's just one thing that's come out like in the last little bit. I know the big hype right now is the Drukhari Codex and the pre-order going up for this weekend. Like, I don't know what you guys, but checking out that Combat Patrol box, believe it or not, it actually looks like a pretty good box to buy. I'm not a Dark Eldar player or Drukhari player, but
not yet.
From what you're not yet, I know. That's the one codex that I've kind of like, I saw and then kind of covered my eyes and then still split my finger to peek. Because I'm like, ooh, that looks awesome. It's just, man, the new model range is amazing. And I've always liked kind of that sinister, dark, Cenobite, Hellraiser kind of feel with some of the Dark Eldar. And it's just, man, yeah. I'm going to try my best to resist.
I'm waiting on Elder.
Because I got Executioners to go. I still got love for my Orcs, but Orcs need some help. And then obviously my Black Legion / Iron Warriors, which flop back and forth. But the new Piety and Pain box coming out with the Sisters, and then the Canoness and the limited new model, and then Lilith Hesperix. I really like the box. I think you get a decent amount of stuff in it. Yeah. I just wish that you got a little bit more, because realistically, you're gonna buy that box set for the 2 characters. But again, it's like everything, right? If you really want it now, you'll buy it now, and if you want to wait a little bit, because Thraka came out separately too, right? Just from the Space Wolves and Orc box that came out, and eventually Ragnar, and like, you know, all these characters do come out separately, but yeah, it's just I think for value, like, it's still there regardless, because you are getting a beautiful range, especially with two new, like, very new armies.
Yeah, and that's one of the armies I have as well, is the Sisters Battle.
Yeah.
Um, that's going to be a fun army to do.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't really done like black armor for a very, very long time, since Black Templars, like ages ago.
Oh yeah.
But now that different techniques and skill sets and whatnot have kicked in now, this one will be very, very interesting. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, I was just looking at that box set though. You are right. There isn't that much to it.
There's not a lot. There is some stuff, but it's, I don't know. I don't know if it's enough to warrant the 210 price tag. Well, we're in Canada, so obviously if you're in the States or somewhere else, it's going to be a different price. But yeah, 210. It's not horrible, honestly. Like, you start breaking down some of the vehicles and the squads, like, there is value there for sure. But again, I think you're doing it more or less for those two characters specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, though, the combat patrol I really think is going to be good. I just like I just like to see a Xeno race finally, right? Like, something that's out and it's like, oh, nice. Like, I really hope 2021 is year of the Xeno. I hope there's going to be some more, right? Obviously Eldar, Nids, Orcs. We need more. Like, I know Necrons are Xeno technically, and people are probably like, hey, they came out too, but you know, I'm talking the other Xeno races. I want to see some sweet, sweet things.
Yeah.
Gene
So,
Stealer cult, you know.
oh, geez, don't remind me of them. But it's there is a couple of armies that really do need some loving, and
Mm-hmm.
Eldar, or Eldari, however you want to call them nowadays, they are definitely one of the armies that need some love.
Yeah.
They have a lot.
Model wise, for sure.
They have a lot of older models. They need to be revamped, and again, if the revamping of the models, you know, if like the Sisters of Battle or the Necrons or, you know, Be'lakor, Ragnar, you know, if that's what they're revamping models to, right, to that epic scale of awesomeness, I guess I'll say.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see these armies that get a full revamp. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing if they're going to be, and I know Bill's cringing at this, but
God.
I can't wait to see what they do if they come out with new orc boys.
Oh, yeah. I think my wallet just trembled inside my pocket.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what they're gonna do with New Orc boys. I suspect they're gonna change up the scale. Like, if AOS and the what is it,
Orc.
Underworlds, yeah, the Underworlds, like, kits or anything to go by, I suspect they will change up the scale, or at least the models themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Which, don't get me wrong, I'm all for it. I'll probably buy a few boxes and intermingle them in with my orcs, because no orc is always the same size, and that said, no orc is always the same shade of green, which I've been kind of experimenting with.
So that's pretty cool.
But yeah, but I'll leave that as just a little hint for later, because I got some stuff I want to show much later. But yeah, it's yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming. I think one of the so here's kind of an interesting, I guess, an interesting way to look at it. The best thing I like about the new 40K is all the support and all the love that you're getting rules wise and model wise right now.
Yeah,
And
it's funny because that's exactly what I was thinking.
it's the best. It's the best. Yeah. You know what I don't like about 40K right now?
What's that?
Is all the support rules wise.
Yeah.
Because so this is gonna sound kind of boomerish. Back in my day, I started in second. right? I
Mm-hmm.
was 10. So this is 25 years ago. But you waited so long for a codex to come out, and 9 times out of 10 it was like, hey, we got 5 codexes, oh, it's a new edition. And it kind of just, it was super slow going, but it felt manageable. And now it's like the rate of speed that these books and updates come out. Don't get me wrong, I love the new codexes, I love when the new armies drop, it's awesome. But like when they're dropping a chapter approved like twice a year, and FAQs like 3-4 times a year, my brain can't handle it, man. There's so much stuff coming out. It's unreal. Like it's
Do
hard to keep up unless you're doing it like all the time.
do you think that them doing this obviously is to support the game as much as they can?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you think this is to do more of with like the large tournaments? You know?
So with the like, okay, so with the constant kind of tweaking, I love the tweaking of points. I love the tweaking of these units that do get abused in bigger GT tournaments and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
I do like how they are moderating and they're working closely with organizers to see results and see what's going on. That I think is proactive to keep shaking things up. Um, I just, yeah, I love all the support. I love everything about that. I just, I hate getting bled for it sometimes because, they just dropped a chapter approved last year. And again, like, end of the year, I never really got to play much with that new book. And even worldwide, like, you hear about the odd, event happening, but, I don't think a lot of people are actually playing. And then when they're dropping, hey, new chapter approved, coming out with new points and new this, and you're like, really, like, already? And it's been COVID times, and how many people are playing? How much data are you guys actually collecting to
Yeah, they
make
must.
more changes already? It's just, it seems a little bit too soon for me. But again, I don't know, that's
It,
just me, right?
it could be something that they've collected like months and months ago, right? And then
And that very well could be it.
this is their time frame to release it, which
Yep.
they're like, okay, well, nobody's playing right now, but we have this information, we might as well release it, and then
Yep.
we'll collect what we can again for the next one, blah 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 blah. But
Yeah,
again,
no, that's a good point.
could be wrong.
It's a good
It,
point. Never really considered that for sure.
right? Uh,
Um, One thing I am interested, but okay, this is, take a big glass of water, guys. It's gonna get just a little bit salty, just a little bit. So that Book of Rust, Battle Zone, Charadon, Act 1,
mm,
it kind of upsets me because I bought every Psychic Awakening book that came out
mhm.
just to find out after the last book I buy. They're like, oh, hey, by the way, guys, that first Psychic Awakening book, and as these new codexes started coming out, they don't mean nothing anymore. You can't use it for match play. It's just gonna look pretty on your shelf. And I was like, what? Like, my orcs thrived with having some of these rules from those books, and they just like take it all away. And I was like, what was the point? And then the new Space Marine Codex comes out. Well, Faith and Fury, all that stuff's in there, and I was like, oh man, like, why did I why did I buy all these books, like, if I'm just gonna buy it again in the next codex? And I've heard rumors that the um Battlezone Chardon isn't even going to be for match play. This is more, I think it's going to be for open or like narrative play. So I don't know if there's a point to buying it. I don't know if there's cool fluff in there or not. If you guys know, honestly, or if I'm way off base, throw it in the comments. Let me know, because like I'm really skeptical of buying it. Like, I like buying the books. I like the artwork. I like reading stuff in there. But I'm kind of like, bitter old man style on this particular new wave, because is it going to be, oh, here's 3, 4, 5 books, and then, oh, hey, a codex comes out and it just null and voids what I bought? Like, I don't know.
I think some of it, like, I mean, it's a narrative supplement, right? Like,
Yeah.
more than likely it's for the Crusade. You know,
Yeah.
I'm thinking more than likely it's for the Crusade, which it's great that they're doing that. They're putting out stuff for these Crusades and
Agreed.
whatnot. It brings a different flavor, and we've kind of seen it a bit too with a lot of the strong players that, you know, love to go to the tournaments and play, but a lot of them are saying they just want to play and have fun now, right? Like, which, don't get me wrong, they're still having fun at these tournaments. Like, we see them we see them there all the time, even the ones that we host. You know, the guys are always having fun playing. So, but having these campaign additional rules and stuff gives a bit of flavor to people's games, and I think maybe that's what this is. If that's not your thing, it's not your thing. Like, I know me and our good friend Dan, we tried to start up a little crusade just with his Marines and my my Necrons, and it was pretty neat to see a little bit of it, you know, a little bit of the experience points and what happens to your units and stuff like that, right? So,
well, he was rocking those sweet red scorpions too.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
That was the initial concept for the Crusade, was to roll out Badab Wars version 2.0 Crusade style. You know, and a few of us, you know, I've got Executioners, Dan's rocking Red Scorpions. I know Steven was looking at Salamanders and Astral Claws, and right now he's crusading hard with Black Templar. And I know Monty here, Andy, was looking for those Minotaurs, and there was just a lot of different, you know, legions, chapters, I guess now, sorry, coming out from Badab era that we were like, ooh, you know, getting all pumped, like, oh shit, and they're all going to be in Primaris armor and looking really cool, which I know there's some guys out there like, Primaris didn't exist in Badab, but this is version 2.0. This is our version. This is Badab, back to Badab, okay?
Yeah.
So we're taking it back to the Badab War, but just with new models and cool new shit. So, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to when everything kind of loosens up a bit. We're able to actually start rolling dice and playing, because I would love to get my Executioners on the table. I've only played one game with them, with Andy against his Necrons, and it was first time I ever looked at the Marine Codex, and I was like, oh, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing here. It felt really weird and clunky to me, right? Like, because I'm coming from Chaos Space Marines, so everything was brand new. Auto bolters and my aggressors, and it's like, oh god, there's just a lot to take in. So
yeah, not to mention to face a brand new army as well.
Yeah, you have no idea what does what.
Yeah. Even me being the player who plays Necrons, you have no idea, you know. So, but it's a lot of fun. That's what it's all about. And there's going to be a lot more of it with all this new stuff coming out.
Yeah, there will.
It's like the hype for when the new releases come out, or, you know, like the Death Guard Codex, right? There was a lot of hype for it, be it sour, be it good. There was just a lot of stuff, and and there was a lot of players that were jumping on board, right?
Yeah,
and some left, you know, but even now, it's true. Even now, with the Drukhari, like there's guys who are starting it up, the Drukhari up. There's that hype, and GW's doing it right. You know, new models, new codex, new range. You know, the revival of some of these armies, like when the Nids get revived.
Oh,
you know,
man.
Because you don't, you know, you haven't really seen much of them lately, at least not here. Even picture wise, like even guys talking about them, I haven't really seen much. And I think when it does happen, it's just going to be an explosion because they're probably going to come out with some new stuff for them.
Yeah.
Right. So
I know I'm definitely excited to see Gene Stealer cults come out. I really hope they're gonna get like either a little blurb in the book, like, hey, in addition to this codex, you can use the Astra Militarum codex for anything that you want, right? Like to really kind of max it out. Like the cult's been waiting in the shadows for so long, and now it's their time to strike. And I hope they get something really cool like that because I've seen the army in action once, and it was really cool how it worked with the tokens and the blips and all these units popping out all over the place. It was actually really cool to see it play. So definitely want to see more of them in the future.
that's right. That's right. Because that was a while ago actually. With that,
Yeah,
yeah, they are. I remember.
Fortnite.
I remember talking to one of the players and saying how, because I was looking at playing them, how it can be a very finesse army to play.
Yeah.
Right? Like it either goes right or it goes horribly wrong, is what he was saying, right? But just kind of looking at like, yeah, there's a lot of different way different things for that army compared to all the other armies. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just remember, the vast array of different models that they had, and like really some beautiful looking kits for what they get. I believe, what are they called? The Gene Stealer Aberrants and the guys with the stop signs.
Yeah.
They were cleaning house. This is when Pendleton and Brady were playing one of the battle reports we did a long time ago. But like those stop sign guys, I was like, what's he doing? He's just cool model, but he's just holding a stop sign. Pendleton was like, "Oh, just wait to see what that stop sign does," and they just like mulched through. Like, of course, Brady's playing Tau, even a stiff breeze mulches that. But it was sorry, Brady, but it was crazy to see these units just meat grind through these squads. I was like, "Wow, stop signs. Okay, note, don't get close." All right. So yeah, it was interesting for sure. But yeah, no, we definitely try and keep our ear low. We try and kind of get into all the new stuff coming out, and I know the last little bit, especially late last week and then early this week, it's been a lot of cool stuff. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing the new stuff coming out. I know I'm looking forward to seeing what the releases are and the little drip releases that GW will do for the rest of the week for the Drukhari. And yeah, all I can say is just, have mercy on my wallet and be gentle. So
Control, Bill, control.
I know. So, but that pretty much wraps up this episode, guys. Next round, when we talk either more hobby or 40K or whatever we're gonna go on, we'll definitely be interested in checking the hashtag Trident Wargaming, seeing if any more people have submitted on that particular hashtag, and then again, we'll talk about it. We'll shout them out, and just keep doing what you guys are doing. Get through this craziness. We'll get through it together, and again, we always like to stand by that motto: build it, paint it, play it. Well, right now we can't play it, and I'm tired of building it, so I'm painting it. That's kind of my goal, is just keep painting, because I know once it kicks off, there ain't going to be time to paint. You're going to want to roll so many dice and play every moment you can that you'll regret not taking advantage of it now. So definitely get your brushes out, order some new paints, just keep going, keep pushing through.
No, that's exactly right. No, it's an awesome way to go about it right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I think that's really about it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, thanks for joining in. Make sure you check out the Facebook page, Instagram, on Podbean. It's all in the description. But keep on painting, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Thanks for watching or listening.
Trident Wargaming. Build it, paint it, play it.